Good morning, gang. Happy Wednesday morning. Yes, there was no early morning video today. I had to get some sleep. 3 hours of sleep the night before so I could get out and smoke dinner yesterday. So, yeah, I went to bed at 8:30 last night. I got up at 8 o'clock this morning. So, you didn't miss anything, all right? But we're still here. I want to go back a little bit here. There's a lot of new people to prepping. Good, okay, because of everything going on in the world. And there's a lot of those of us who are more experienced veterans at it that might need to think about this. Top 15 mistakes that preppers make. Newbies and seasoned vets. Okay. But I'm not going to go into the basic ones that everybody needs. They don't store enough food. No, I'm talking more of the cerebral stuff rather than the physical stuff. Right? Things for you to think about. Some of them you may have already thought about many times, and others it may be an aha moment. All right. So, but this is my opinion of the top 15 mistakes. There's probably 100 more that you guys could add. So, number one, not paying attention to current events. I do a lot of current events on this channel. Why? Because it's kind of hard for prepping for something that you don't even consider. Economic collapse, war, EMP, Mexican invasion, whatever would be. If you don't pay attention to what's going on in the news, think about it real quick. If you don't know anything of what's going on right now, you've gone to the store, you see prices gone up, okay? But if you don't pay attention to anything and you live, say, where I do, you really don't know that we've got millions of people coming across the southern border. You don't know about what's going on in China, Taiwan, or Russia, Ukraine, or anything. You don't know that they found cocaine in the White House yesterday, and the Secret Service is investigating how the hell cocaine got in the White House. Yeah, that's real. Paying attention to current events, knowing what's going on around you, locally and nationally, let alone internationally. But the second part of it ties right into it. So, number two, believing everything that you read on the internet. I don't care if it's the news media. COVID's going to kill everybody, right? You have to get this or you're going to die. There's plenty of bullshit on the internet, including on prepper channels. There's a lot of prepper channels that you can watch. I know because I've seen them that they don't know how to prep worth squat. Okay. They're entertainment only. So believing everything you see on the internet, not a good idea either. Right. Number three, not having a plan. Starting out right, the very first thing you should do when you prep, before you buy the first bag of beans or the bag of rice, the very first thing you should do is sit down and have a plan. Okay, honey, if the world blows up economically, we go to war, what are we going to do? First question, are we going to stay here? Are we planning on going somewhere else? That's different for everybody, okay? Where I am, out in the woods, I plan on staying here. If I live in a high rise in New York City, yeah, I'm probably planning on leaving, okay? But not only do you need to have a destination that you're going to go to, you also need to have a route planned to get there. Because if you want to go, using my area, from Knoxville out here, I'm in Knoxville, I'm going to get out and I'm going to go up, north up in the woods. How are you going to get there? And most everybody, if they did it right now, would say, well, I'll get on the highway and drive. You and everybody else, okay? What's your alternate route? What's your alternate to your alternate route? Because you can pretty much guarantee that everybody that doesn't have a plan is going to take the highway. Great, gridlock, wonderful, robbers, people are going to stop you. One car breaks down and they need a new car. That's when something comes out pointed at you to take your car. All right. Have alternate plans. Have back roads to get where you are. Do you know the back roads in your area to get somewhere? That's important. Okay. Moving on to number four. Not having an inventory of your preps. We've all done this. Anybody that says they haven't is lying. Okay. You're at the store and you go, do I need this? You know, or you're at home and you go, well, we just had it happen the other day. Mrs. P asked for mayonnaise, right? And I'm like, I went upstairs. I'm like, crap, I've only got one left. Okay. Yeah. Having inventory of your preps and not just a mental inventory, because there's no way of all your preps you could keep a mental inventory. You know, sure, people could tell you, well, I've got X amount of rounds of 9mm or X amount of rounds of 5.56 or whatever. I've got so many pounds of rice. How many cans of ravioli do you have? How many uh, jars of salt do you have? Whatever. Do you know? You can't know everything. Keep that inventoried. There's inventory programs out there that you can get. I just use a spreadsheet, simple enough, and go redo your inventory once a quarter or whatever, and just check. You may not have used anything. I mean, I've got 2 gas masks. How many do I have last quarter? 2. How many do I have this quarter? 2. Okay. How many people are here? 2. You know, don't need to get more, but I know I've got them. Not training with your preps. I mean, how many channels have you seen where they throw something down and go, you need to have one of these, and it's still in a package? You know, okay, maybe that they've got 3 others and those are their backups. That's possible. Okay. But be honest with yourself. How many things have you bought for your preps that you've never even taken out of the package, that you've never used, right? At all. Okay. Well, I've got cast iron skillets. I've never used them. Cooking on a cast iron skillet is different than cooking in your Farberware. Cleaning a cast iron skillet is very different. Okay. Do you know how to do it? But then the other catch, this is always the fun part. Not teaching others how to, in your family, your kids, your spouse, anybody in your mag, not teaching them how to use those preps. Just because you know how to do it doesn't mean everybody else does. Yes, some of us have expertise in one area, some of us have expertise in another area. But what happens when that person is no longer here? That's going to happen, guys, okay? Face reality. If we go into any sort of SHTF event, people are going to die. And if the only person in your mag who knows how to, I don't know, make tinctures or something like that is no longer with us, you have a problem. Okay? So teaching others how to use your preps is very important. With that comes, of course, overestimating or underestimating other people. And again, this goes to your kids, your spouse, whatever. Oh, I don't have to teach them that. Everybody knows how to plant tomatoes. Nope. You may think it's a very easy skill, and somebody else may not know how to do it. Okay? Everybody knows how to nail 2 boards together. Nope, not necessarily. Okay? They may be very mundane task, something that you think you could do in your sleep with your eyes closed, and blindfolded, no problem. Somebody else may not know how to do it. Make sure those other people know how to do those things. Okay? Number 8, thinking you know enough. I know how to plant tomatoes. I can plant any vegetable there is. No, there's a lot of difference. Planting corn versus planting tomatoes versus planting potatoes, they're all different. Okay. Thinking you know enough. I got this. I know how to shoot my 9mm. I can pick up any gun and shoot it. No, you can't. I know how to clean a weapon. Pick something like. Thinking you know enough. You can never stop learning. A little humility is going to go a long way in prepping. Ask. If somebody else is doing something and you're not sure, hey, can you show me how to do that? Or show me how you do that? They may have a different way or a better way or any way that you don't know. Learn, okay? You guys know me. I'm trying to learn some different skills this summer. That's one of my deals. I'm never going to be one of those that thinks I know enough. Not until the day I die. All right. So moving on along. Number 9. This one you guys should know, but let's think about it for a second. Storing everything in one place. Now this is, again, situation dependent on you. We can talk about your food, we can talk about your weapons, we can talk about whatever would be. All right, but storing everything in one place. If you live out here, this is what your plan is to bug in unless everything goes foobar, okay, and you have to leave, okay. Storing everything in one place in your house, not a good idea. Why? Well, I put everything in the basement. Great, your basement floods. You just lost everything. Okay? You know, I put it all in the garage. Well, it gets hot and humid. Not a good idea. Some things shouldn't be stored in. Some things are fine where the temperature can fluctuate all over the place. Some things need to be in a constant temperature. So storing everything in one place like that is not a good idea. If you live in the high rise in New York City, store some in your house, in your apartment, great. But if you've got a bug out location, storing some there too. There also might be a halfway decent argument made for storing something along the way. Get a plastic tote or something that you can seal up real, airtight and watertight. And maybe one day you just go out and you bury it halfway along the way, along the side of the road or something like that. Nobody's really going to pay attention if you're just off 50 yards in the woods off the highway or off some side road or something, as long as it's not private property. They're not going to pay attention. Nobody else is ever going to go there, but you'll know it's there. Okay, it's a thought, but having your preps in different places is definitely something that you should do. Even if you're out like where I am, having some in the house, having some in the garage, having some in the shed, whatever would be. If the house burns down, maybe the shed doesn't, and I still have something. Just saying. Okay. This is a very common sense one that I see very, very few people actually do efficiently. Mistake, not rotating your food. We've all done this. You went to the store, you bought 100 cans of, I don't know, pick something, corn. Do you eat 100 cans of corn a year? I mean, that's 2 cans a week. Right? You eat that much corn, you want to have it, and all of a sudden you go back there and you look, oh crap, this corn's 4 years old. You haven't had to buy anymore. You just haven't gone through it all. And now you're going, well, it's about to expire. What do I do with it? And you end up throwing out good money after bad. Have a time frame of how long you want to keep your food for. And again, figuring out how much you actually need rather than just buying willy-nilly going, hey, I've got 50 cans, 75 will be better. Now, if you got 50 cans and you go through 1 can a week, you've got a year. Or 100 cans, you got 2 years, whatever your time frame is. And go through and do it that way. And that's how many you buy, because that's what you're going to be able to rotate through, because that's what you eat. That way you're not throwing away food. Instead of buying that extra 25 cans of something, now you've got an extra $25 to go buy something else that you'll actually use. Okay? This is always my fun one that I laugh at. You guys know I'm about to turn 57 here, right? Okay. And people, you need to buy our dehydrated food. It lasts 30 years. Okay. It's a great idea. I'll be 87 in 30 years. Do I need food that lasts 87? In an SHTF event, I'm probably not going to live to 87. Okay. So, yeah. Wasting my money on something that 30 years shelf life food, not a good idea. Okay. But that's a big mistake, and that's a hoarding mistake I see people make all the time. Those companies all great at, buy this food and it'll last forever. I'm not going to last forever, so why am I going to buy the food? I'm going to buy the food that I'm going to be able to use. Okay. This is going back to a skills one again. Not learning to cook outside the kitchen. Oh, I've got my little camp stove, or I've got, a fire pit and a grate. You ever cooked over it? Okay. I mean, sure, we've all put weenies on sticks and, roasted hot dogs over an open fire. No question there. That's cooking. I'll give you that. Do you have a year's worth of hot dogs that you can put on stick? And you want to eat hot dogs for every meal every day? It's a lot. You'll be dead soon enough from all the chemicals you're eating anyway. But learning how to cook over an open fire, do you have the tools even to do it? Do you have the cast iron? Do you have a grate to go over it? Have you ever tried to go out and use your barbecue grill, whether it's propane or gas or charcoal, hopefully you've got some sort of renewable resource that you can do it. But have you ever gone out there and even put a frying pan on your barbecue grill and said, okay, I'm going to make eggs on this? It's a little different. You don't have the temperature control, especially over an open fire, a charcoal or wood fire. You don't have a knob on the wood that you can adjust it. To tell you experience, okay, I've done a lot of smoking in my life. Guess what I did yesterday? I overcooked our brisket, okay? I put it too close to the heat vent or to the smoke inlet, and I overcooked it, and it was a little burned. Well, in some spots it's a lot burned. I overcooked it. That sucked, okay? But that happens. Number 13, buying useless stuff, becoming a hoarder, okay? Everybody and their mother. I mean, this is what the advertising industry is about. You need to buy this. It'll make your life easier. How many times have we seen videos? Buy this or you're gonna die, right? And I'll bet some of you have gone out and bought it. Again, this comes back to having a plan, right? What do I need? Okay, you can want all sorts of stuff. There's all sorts of prepping toys that you can buy. You know, is it going to be useful for you? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, I mean, I've done countless reviews on solar generators or coolers or dehydrators or whatever. Does it fit for you? If it's something you need, and I try to give you an idea of what things will do for that reason, because well, I don't have 3 freezers and a refrigerator, so no, I don't need something like that. You know, I live in a small apartment. No, I can't do. I mean, this is the thing. A lot of people, companies, I'm saying. I mean, the prepping channels, the reviews that you see on YouTube are hopefully trying to help you, not trying to sell you. Uh, but don't go out and buy a whole bunch of stuff you need. I mean, the brand new set of Ginsu knives may look great, but do you need them? Right? Okay. Do you have some good sharp knives? Otherwise, do you need to go out and buy that set too? Number 14. This is one I rarely ever hear talked about. Not prepping on light sources. Okay. It's summertime now. I mean, around me, it gets light around 6:30 in the morning. It doesn't get dark till around 9 o'clock. It's okay. You know what? You get 14 and a half, 15 hours of light. Great. But y'all remember winter's coming, and we're going to be going through winter too. So what does that mean? Well, it's going to be dark at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's going to be dark at 4:30 in the afternoon, okay, whatever it would be. And all of a sudden you go, I got 8 or 9 hours of light. You still have 16 hours of work to do. You're going to need flashlights, headlights, candles, lanterns, whatever it would be. You know, things that are portable are going to be a lot more beneficial than, gee, I've got my overhead lights or my lamp in my kitchen. That's not exactly portable, right? Because you're going to need light outside. Remember, when the power goes out, all the power goes out. There aren't street lights or a glow from a building or something like that. It's pitch black. If you've ever been in pitch black, a lot of people there is a such thing as light pollution. You're in New York City and you look up at the night sky, you might see a few stars. You get out in the middle of the desert in Nevada where you are 100 miles from civilization, you'd be amazed how many stars are in the sky that you can see because there's no light pollution that's prohibiting you from seeing it. That's how dark it's going to be. I mean, black is black that most people have never seen. Make sure you're plenty stocked up on lights, numerous sources of them, plenty of batteries. I mean, batteries we talk about, but lights, people don't mention that too often. Finally, number 15, and this is a very, very common mistake that pretty much every prepper makes. Forgetting there is life beyond prepping. The world may blow up. Joe may take us into World War III. China may attack. The economy may collapse, whatever. But here's the question. What if it doesn't? What if everything we're prepping for never happens? All those preppers that came before us, the world never ended. Okay? They were probably very happy they had their preps in front of COVID, in front of 9/11, in front of World War II, whatever it would be. All right. There are plenty of times that it's been useful, but the world has never ended. Don't forget to live the life you have now. Get out and enjoy some of it. Spend an hour a day prepping. That's it. Spend the other 23 living the life you have while you have it.